2013 was the last time we saw a MazdaSpeed model. The high-performance line from Mazda has been lacking ever since. The Japanese brand has seemingly ditched high performance in the pursuit of high-class, near-luxury quality vehicles. Is Zoom Zoom dead from Mazda, or is there still hope? Over at Cars Guide in Australia, return of the new Mazda 3 MPS, Mazda investigating proper fire-breathing performance cars under the Mazda Spirit Racing program. This division could produce cars that could take on the GR Corolla, GR Yaris, put in the Type R, and other vehicles coming down the hatch from the Koreans, the Japanese, etc. So let's get into this tasty article coming from Australia. This Mazda Spirit Racing program is still under study, and they're investigating everything from performance accessories, almost like a GR Sport if we compare to Toyota, if we compare to Lexus, kind of like an F Sport. But they are considering significant changes to vehicles as well to tap the high performance market. And that is according to Yasuhiro Aoyama, Mazda's director and senior managing executive officer, who was just recently in Australia to launch the new CX-60 plug-in hybrid. I will be able to debut the CX-90 large three-row crossover based off the new large architecture for Mazda. That will be coming at the end of January or early February. Aoyama told Cars Guide that an opportunity existed in the high-performance space and the brand was still considering how to approach it. Zoom Zoom is still alive. MazdaSpeed, maybe not how we knew it, but it will live on in the spirit, no pun intended, with Mazda Spirit Racing. Aoyama says we are still investigating a lot of opportunity because we also understand that the accessory opportunity that can give us a large profit, and there should exist in a certain level customer that is waiting for that derivative. And recently in Japan, they launched their Mazda Spirit Racing activities. So as a part of that, we are investigating various opportunities over our future. We are studying various opportunities under that new brand. Very much like Toyota has been expanding the GR brand these past few years. Mr. Oyama said significant changes to the vehicles we sell is a consideration, as well as, of course, the accessories we mentioned before. But what about the resurrection of the RX? Are we ready for an RX-9? Well, he's saying that that still belongs to many of our engineers as their passion, so they will keep that technology in the technological archive, but it's not the appropriate time to resurrect the RX. So it's not off the table, it's just not on the table for the immediate future. Here's the vision study model that Mazda showed last week when they previewed their electrification strategy. Make sure to check out that video if you want to see where Mazda's going by 2030. This reminds me a lot of the last generation RX-7 and even a little bit of the first gen Mazda Miata. They kind of like replicate the pop-up headlights here to an extent. I kind of make them kind of like wings with lights at the end of it. And this is the only other official image. Obviously, this would be a rear-wheel drive sports car. These lights on the back reminded me a lot of the first and second generation Miatas. Getting images from that vision study teaser was difficult. You see the Mazda logo lit up there. I think that could be a part of Mazda's future as well. Now, that doesn't mean that this is not a preview of the next RX. He just says now is not the time to resurrect it. It could be in the later half of the 2020s where they plan to bring out something as futuristic as this. In the meantime, they got to take this Mazda 3 and potentially, if they want to resurrect the Mazda 6, there's all sorts of news coming out of Japan. Some of it's conflicting, so I don't want to go too much into it, but a Mazda 6 is definitely not off the table for a redesign, and it would be on the new large vehicle platform, so it'd have an inline 6 in it. But they could Mazda 3 Turbo Spirit. That would be a cool name. No longer would we see MazdaSpeed, but it would be in spirit of Mazda Spirit Racing. Anyways, they have to up the horsepower of this engine. Torque is not necessary. It already has a fat torque curve on it, but the power, it's such a low revving engine compared to, let's say, Honda's. That just are super peaky. They build in power over 300 horsepower, 315 horsepower now on the Type R, and it has less displacement than the Mazda Skyactiv turbo engine. Hopefully they would be able to get this thing over 300 horsepower, and that would be excellent for the Mazda brand as at least an option for consumers. If we go over to their large vehicle platform, we know the 2.5 liter plug-in hybrid that's not going to be seen in a Spirit vehicle, I don't think, anytime soon, unless we see solid state batteries. So still not anytime soon. They need to take the Skyactiv G Turbo, and I guess it would be like in a Mazda 6 Spirit. Could we see it in like a Mazda CX-70 Spirit? I guess, but it just doesn't make sense. It would have to be in a sedan, in my opinion. And then they could eventually twin turbo it, because the power numbers on the 3.3 Skyactiv inline 6 turbo are a little underwhelming. I already made a video on how I was a little disappointed when you compare it to BMW's smaller displacement turbo engine. And then when you look at what they could do with twin turbo, the sky is the limit if they wanted to Mazda Spirit turbo this bad boy, put it in a Mazda 6 sedan or coupe, and oof, that would be amazing. But I wanted to share this article with you. Anything MazdaSpeed or related to a performance division of the Zoom Zoom company is amazing, and we would love to see it to compete with the Type R, compete with the GR lineup. And then Nissan with the Z and the GTR, they're meeting like the mid to extremely high price performance, but they don't have anything at the bottom end of the market to compete. Mazda could do that, and they could also do a high performance version of the MX-5 that I haven't even mentioned. But I'm going to end the video there. I'll see you in the comments below. How do you think Mazda could Mazda Spirit their lineup? And I'll catch you in the next one. Make sure you subscribe for more Mazda updates in the future, especially the CX-90 reveal. Have a great day. Take care of yourselves, and peace.